Okay, just waiting on everybody catching up. Just waiting. Let me just share this out with my subs. Da-da-da. Alrighty. Welcome to Sub Only, where we will be chatting about manifestation, affirmations, and journaling. So I'm just waiting on a few subs turning up, and then we can get started. Alrighty. Let me just share this out. Sure, I'm sure we can. Ah, Miss Sparkles. Yay, Miss Sparkles has joined.
Hello, beautiful lady.
Hello. Hello,
How are you?
hello. I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me all
You
right?
look very professional in your headset.
I know. It's better sound quality, I have to say.
Well, it's my birthday on Thursday, and you know I bought myself those angel wings. Well, I'm gonna just squeeze a little bit more and get myself some earphones.
Oh, these ones are great.
Yeah.
Just because the only downside to them is, you know, where you normally plug your charger into your phone or your tablet.
Yeah.
To get the mic and the headphone bit to work together, you have to plug it in there. So if your battery runs down, then
Okay.
you have to unplug them. But if that happens during my live, it's fine. I've got my other ones that go straight into the.
Oh yeah, because I bet they use battery quite quickly, don't they?
They would probably use the tablet battery, but we're not too bad now. We're on kind of like the 84%, so we've got a lot.
Oh, cool. I'm really looking forward to tonight. I've been excited about this for a couple of weeks now.
Oh, yeah. We're just waiting to see if. Can you share this out?
I am doing, yeah.
Because I don't have a share on this end for the sub one, which is a bit odd.
I'm getting them now.
Oh, wait a minute. I have got a share because I don't know if you've got Beth, but if you've not got Beth, I've got Beth.
Right.
Let me check. If I type in Beth, there she is. And also there she is. Have you got all the mods?
Yes, I've
Yeah.
done all the mods.
Right, you've done all the mods. Right,
Yeah.
okay. Right, there we go. Thank you for the heart me.
Oh, every time.
Oh,
It's been a really sleepy Sunday for me today.
oh,
I've just been listening to my audibles. A really good book, but it was read by David Tennant, and
right.
he's Scottish, isn't he? And his
Yeah.
Scottish accent kept falling asleep because I like the soft Scottish accent so much that I kept having to go back chapters to where I'd fallen asleep to then listen to it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I love books. I love learning and stuff. I think that's why I've been so excited for this live.
Oh.
So I've got my notebook.
What I'm going to do, just in case this battery does run off, I'll put my charger in and change over to the other headphones, and then that way we know we've got enough charge.
Okay.
These headphones are okay, I think, for doing recordings, etc. But
Okay.
yeah, they might kind of go skew with. So I'm just going to change over to these ones.
Okay.
Give me a. If I do that one.
What date are we on today? 'Cause it's my birthday on Thursday, so I'm trying to count back. Is it the 2nd?
Right. Let me take.
Oh, is it the 1st, Steffi?
Right, can you hear
I
me?
get really bad with my dates. Especially when there's a bank holiday. When there was a bank holiday last week, I was like, yeah,
He's in the right
totally put me in the wrong days.
Where are these ones? Da, da, da. That's those ones. All right. Right, can you hear me?
Steffi, are you coming in the box?
I don't know if this is working. Give me a second. Put that one on there. You ladies hear me?
Yeah, I think Steffi's trying to get in the box.
Right. I had my volume turned down. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you let Steffi in the box?
Yeah. I had the volume turned down on the other ones.
That's like something I do.
Oh, I'm like, why can't they hear me? I've got.
Hello.
Hello.
No.
Hello, hello.
I've done that before when I've been talking and thinking, I wonder why Lady M's not answered me, and then I've
Thank
had
you
my
for the
speaker
heart
on.
me. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for the heart me.
It's okay.
With a heart me moonette.
We're the heart me moonets, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm starting to feel a little better now after the new moon. I got the last couple of days have been quite difficult. Is
yeah.
that sort of not? I felt really down and really sad.
Yep, it can affect your emotions.
Right. Because, yeah, it's almost been like I've got nothing to kind of be upset over. specifically, but then I've just felt very weepy and not wanting to do very much.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can do to help that?
Drink plenty of water.
Right. Okay.
That's the big one. Is drinking
Right.
plenty of water.
Yeah. Now I need to do. I'm all right if I put juice in it. I can't drink bottled water just on its own. I have to put a bit of juice in.
Yeah, if you put diluting juice in it.
Yeah, that's what I do. So just
Does that still class as taking your water?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked at the hospital, do you know that cups of tea and coffee are classed as your fluids for the day as well?
Oh, well, I drink coffee by the bucket.
Yeah,
I
I asked my consultant. I asked my consultant and I said, "Blooming heck, I don't drink that much water." And he said, "Well, I can see on your charts how many cups of tea you have as an inpatient." And I had like 9. And he said, "You do know that like juice, cordial, tea, coffee, all counts towards your fluids," which I never knew that. I thought it had to be bog standard water.
Yeah.
So
I tell my mum off I do for drinking too much coffee and tea. I say you're not getting your water in.
well, I'm sticking up for your mum right now. Although too much coffee can be bad, can't it? But
Yeah, coffee can also, it can hydrate you, but it can also dehydrate you as well.
yeah.
It's something to
That's
do.
what I mean.
Yeah, it's to do with the coffee beans.
Yeah. Oh, I don't drink coffee, but I love the smell.
See, I love coffee.
I know you do.
That's
like
my downside.
When you message me on the morning or something and you're saying, "I'm having my coffee," and I'm like, "I'm having my Coca-Cola." That's how we start our days round these ways.
Yep. I don't know if
It's
anybody.
funny, you know.
Yep, go ahead, Steph.
So I was just saying to Miss Sparkles that my mum's friend has just moved to where you are.
Really?
Yeah, and my mum was up there the other week. She'd gone to spend like 2 or 3 days with her. She said it was absolutely lovely up there.
Oh, well, next time she comes up, can you hide in the passenger seat so I can see you?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Hello, Gemma. Yay, Gemma's joined.
It's nice when you get nice weather, but I think that's anywhere, isn't it? Whenever it's nice weather, anyway, it just cheers it up a bit.
Yeah. Now that we've got Gemma coming in, we have changed
Marnie May, get to bed.
Hey, who?
Marnie, my daughter's just
I thought you said
previewed
Blimey,
this.
get to bed. I was going to say, why? We've just
My
started.
daughter's just previewed this. I said, Marnie May, get to bed.
Did she?
Yeah, just see your name come up.
Oh, poor little girl's blown herself up.
Oh, I love it.
She's obviously seen me, hasn't she? Clicked on me.
Yeah, there are a few changes. As many will know, when you come out of an abusive marriage, even years after, you can still have like trolls trolling you and all the rest of it, especially if they're narcissistic and all the rest of it, which has, is part of my life. I've been trolled, it must be my deodorant or something. They're just like, those adverts that you get where it's Impulse, and it was, remember the old Impulse aerosols that you used to get?
Oh yeah, when you walk past a man and they they're like,
I
I know what you mean.
right. I must have that impulse for trolls because honestly, they come out. They come out of the woodwork. They honestly do, and I'm like, yeah, I must have forgot I've had that impulse on today. It's attracting all sorts.
No, we need to buy you some new deodorant for sure.
Yeah. Flea repellent.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it doesn't matter who you are or what's that you're gonna get trolls, right? You're gonna get people trolling you and stuff like that. But there comes this. I think the more popular you become, the more trollish people get. So also, I want to be doing a lot more teaching. So if I'm having more than just the mods in the box, I get sidetracked. I won't lie. If I'm doing readings and we get somebody in the box during the readings and then they start chatting about something else, I lose focus on what the cards are. And instead of like a 20 or 30-minute reading, it can go on to like 20 or 30-hour reading kind of thing. But it's the same when I'm doing topic teachings like this. I'm going to see if you can actually hear me without headphones because these ones are a bit, iffy. If you know what I mean. So let me see if I take these out, whether you can still hear me. Right, can you hear me? Right, can everybody hear me? Let me try the volume. Volume up.
I can hear.
Right, can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you can hear me.
I can hear you clearer now.
Right, you can hear me clearer now.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Is this
I don't think Gemma's in here, you know.
It did say she joined.
Oh, I didn't see.
Yeah, Gemma joined Sub Only Live. Gemma, say hi in the comments if you're with us. It did say that she joined the live. So is my volume better with or without the headphones?
Without, I'd say.
So it's better without the headphones on a live?
Yeah, I think. Well.
See, I think the headphones are okay for recording, but they might not be all right for the live for me.
I've just had a deja vu, you saying that.
Really?
No, yeah, genuinely. I've just had a deja vu of you saying it's okay for my videos, but for the lives, I'm not going to use them.
Wow.
Don't get me started with deja vus.
That was weird.
I don't know what they are.
Like where you've heard somebody say it or do it before, and then like literally a couple of minutes later, she said it and did it in the exact same way.
Yeah.
Like she was just repeating herself, but she wasn't.
That's weird, isn't it?
Oh, that's giving me juicy bumps.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I do know that when I'm live doing it without the headphones, I don't have any issues, but I do have a lot of issues with volume when I'm actually using TikTok's recording studio because it's pants.
Right, okay.
Literally, it is pretty pants.
Yeah, Guess who?
Oh,
We've got a
Natalie
new
subscribed.
subscriber.
Oh my gosh, Natalie!
Yay.
Yay! My adopted daughter.
Oh, Natalie, thank you so much for subscribing. We now have 10
I'm now your
subscribers.
auntie, Natalie.
We now
There
have
we go.
10. Yeah.
See, your comments just got ghosted for that.
Yeah.
I just approved it.
What, my adopted daughter one?
Goals. Yeah, it got ghosted. I just approved it.
That's
Oh.
weird. Can't adopt a
What's that
daughter,
mean?
you
You
know.
can't say anything.
I
Give
know.
you a follow, Natalie.
Oh, honestly.
Yeah, Natalie is my adopted daughter, and the pain in my bum, because she does tell me Natalie's got a little girl, and she tries to get the little girl to call me grandma, and I'm like, no, not at all. So we've come to the arrangement that I'm called Sparkle.
Oh.
So now that is all little legs will call me. Or if I ring Natalie, she'll go, who's on the phone? And Nat goes, it's Sparkle. And she'll be like, Sparkle, I want to see you. And it's so much better than Grandma. If she taught her to do that, I would be mortified.
Oh, bless. Well, hopefully everybody has got notebook and pen for taking notes, because this is going to be quite an in-depth class.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of discussion. Many people think you can't manifest things, or if they've tried to manifest things, they don't manifest, and they just think it's a lot of bullcrap, etc., etc. But before we go into that, now that Natalie's joined us as well, got hiccups now. We were just discussing, Natalie, that whereas before we used to have people coming in the boxes and having a chat, we are now changing that, just because of all the events that I've had in the past with my ex's trolls, etc., etc., and basically people just being trollish, etc. And you get a lot of on TikTok, you get a lot of bots that then become trolls, etc., etc. So most people have a couple of trolls in a lifetime, but when you've come from a DV background and you've come from a narcissistic background, that can go. Trolls can, from those families, can actually troll you for years. They're that obsessed. It's part of being a narcissist. Whereas most breakups in marriages or whatever else, once they break up, they never speak or see each other again, etc., etc. With a narcissist and a DV, they are obsessed. They don't like, and it's because they don't like rejection. They really hate rejection. And if they have a large abuse ring, which my ex's family did, then they can recruit trolls. So if you see my block list, it is a mile long. It really. I've had 11 years of trolls, so you can imagine what my block list is like. I must have broke the world record for blocked trolls. But there does come a point where you kind of tend to think, right, enough's enough. Time to come down heavy on the trolls, etc. And when I got to 3K, it was just, a lot of people think, oh, I've got 3K followers, etc. But those 3K followers have trolls in there. So the last thing I want is to be opening boxes and a troll comes in the box and can say or do something that TikTok is going to strike you for. And I've had that before. So the only ones that are in the boxes from here on in will be my mods. Mainly because my mods need to, especially Miss Sparkles. Miss Sparkles needs to be able to read out the comments that I can't. Because as many I'm registered blind, and there is nothing worse when I'm playing back my preview, my recordings and stuff, and all you see is me going like a pecking bloody hen, looking down at the comments. It's so much easier if Miss Sparkles or Steph, who's in the box all the time, can say, there's this comment or that comment. So when we're doing readings, or we're doing topic nights like this, if you do have a questions, please comment them rather than coming in the box and asking them. That way, I can carry on doing my presentation without getting sidetracked. Because if I get sidetracked, I'll say, right, okay, where was I on my presentation? Where was I on my teaching? Does that make sense, folks?
Yeah.
Yeah, she said it makes sense as well.
Yeah. It just makes it more of a smoother ride. You will see that this account is now subscriber only account. And again, it's to do with my public lives being so trollish, it's unbelievable. My other account is a closed account. And it's closed for one reason, until I get 1,000 followers. And even when it becomes a public one, I will be assessing every single account before they are approved for me following them back. And again, I'm not bothered about the numbers. The numbers do not count for me. It's, my new account, I want only genuine, real people that have got real photographs, not some superstar like Dolly Parton. There's about 50,000 Dolly Partons on this app. And I'll tell you, they're not Dolly Parton by any shape or means. My goodness me. If anybody's going to blooming mimic Dolly Parton, I've got the bloody boobs to do it myself. Right?
Don't get me started.
So, I do want to start afresh. And I do want to start, it's going to be a lot of hard work building it up to 1,000 followers. But the difference being, those 1,000 followers are going to be quality followers. They're going to be genuine people. And they're going to be people that, they're not going to be readers or other mediums. So if you're a reader or a medium, chances of you getting me following you back is probably zilch. And it's nothing against readers or mediums. It is just keeping, because I'm a medium, it's just keeping my little corner mine, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we know TikTok is absolutely saturated now with mediums and readers, and a lot of them are not genuine.
Natalie was just saying that the reason that she didn't subscribe before is because obviously she's got a littlie, so she's got to be up for the school run and stuff. But like she said, she doesn't want to miss out on seeing you. So she said quality over quantity. That's what she's here for.
Yeah. And that's what I want. Yeah. And that is what I want the new account to be about.
Yeah.
I don't want it about the numbers. You could have 10K followers, and 8K of those followers could be absolutely fake accounts or bots.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. People are just wanting the numbers. Oh, get me to 10K and get me to this creator fund. Let me tell you, I haven't went anywhere near the creator fund, but I've heard a lot of bad crap about it. Because when you get to that 10K, believe you me, it's not a bed of roses. Because you've got to get something like 1,000 likes on one video before you can get paid in the creator fund.
Wow.
You don't just say, yeah, you need 1,000 likes or something per video for that, you know, or for that video before you'll get paid for it.
Is that why they're always saying tap, 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 tap? Oh, I never knew that. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm tapping anyway, so.
Yeah. You know, if they don't get the likes up, they don't get paid, even if they're in the creator fund or not.
Right, I didn't know that.
Yep. I've watched a few big creators that have got to 10K plus, and they've got all excited, and then they've done a video saying, see this creator fund, folks, it's not all it's cracked up to be.
No.
Because, you know, it's like TikTok do not want to pay the creators on the creator fund. So they make it really, really difficult for their guidelines. And their guidelines are, you've got to get so many likes per video before you can get paid on that video. And if you don't match those likes, you don't get paid on that video. So people would like pushing out videos and getting nowhere for them.
Like you've always said, though, you want to give your people the most consistent readings or spiritual information. Or I was saying to Natalie, when you become a subscriber, if you do have a dream that you want interpreting, or you do want to say, I'm trying to manifest this, could you give me a hand how to do that? They can either message you or with like prior notice even maybe give you a call on, you know, online, and not for like silly things, but you know, for just more spiritual advice, because most of us, that's why we're here.
I get a lot of people joining my Facebook group because my Facebook group has got a messenger, Messenger attached to it. And if they so wanted to, they could actually get in touch with me via that messenger.
Yeah.
I've also got a public page as well, and they can get in touch with me on that public page as well through Messenger. And my subscribers can message me there and let me know that they're a subscriber. But they can also message me here on TikTok.
Yeah.
As well, anytime that they want advice. I mean, I've had our Lucy message me all the time and saying, I've had this dream tonight. Can you decipher the dream for me, please?
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's just, having the boxes just with the subscribers means I can focus on teaching you, quality teaching, quality readings.
Yeah.
Without, you know, somebody, if we had 3 or 4 people in the boxes and they're asking questions, and it kind of gets me sidetracked off the reading, and then I have to go back to my readings and my guides are saying, excuse me.
I was going to say, you've got the guides in your head as well as everybody else. You must be like, goodness me, I've got all these people talking at me. And that's why I explained to people why I'm Little Miss Gobshite in the box.
Yeah.
So that you can concentrate on what you do best, and I can just read you the comments, and Steffi, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, I don't think we're going to get any more subs coming in. So shall we start?
Yeah.
With the manifestation and stuff. First of all, what is manifestation?
I think it's when you try and project what you are wanting in life.
Mm-hmm.
That's my sort of spin on it.
Right. Steph, what would your spin be?
Steffi,
Sorry.
you're on mute.
Yeah, it's like it's when you're asking the universe for something, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you have to keep thinking about it and believing it. Like talk about it as if you've been there. Like if you want a new car, you've got to say like, "Oh, I went to pick the new car up and I got the keys. I sat in it and I felt this and I felt that, and it smelled. I could smell the leather and the new leather. You have to keep like pointing it out, don't you?
Yeah. That's part of it. That's only one
know that
small
bit.
part of manifestation, right? Many people are taught, if you want to manifest it, see it in your mind's eye. Imagine yourself, for example, like Steph has just said, imagine yourself, you want a brand new sports car, right? One of these ones that you press a button and the roof comes down on a sunny day and you can feel the wind in your hair, all the rest of it, right? And a convertible sports car, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people will go to people and say, how do I manifest that? And then many people will say to you, well, imagine it in your head. You go in, you've got money in your hand, you go into the showroom, you've got enough money to buy the car there and then. Imagine yourself, you've just handed over the money, they've handed over the keys, and you open that sports car door and you press the button and the roof comes down and the sun's shining, and just pay attention to how you're feeling right this minute. You're sitting in your dream car. How are you feeling at this precise moment? And you've really got to focus on that, right? And then you'll manifest it. That's only one part of it. They don't tell you the other parts. So
Energy levels,
yeah,
with frequency and stuff.
it's a lot of it's to do with frequency stuff as well, but there's a lot more to it than just the frequency. Absolutely, you can have a high frequency and you can imagine you've gone into your new car or your new house or having money or whatever, right? The imagination's only one tiny small part of manifestation, right? It's only one part of saying to the universe, look, this is what I want. And I can see it, I can smell it, I can feel the keys in my hand, and I can see the colour of the car, and I can see the leather seats, etc. And the universe is going, and what do you want me to do about it? Where's the other steps? And until the universe gets the other steps, you're not going to manifest it. So there's a first step before you even do the manifestation. Does anyone know what it is?
Meditation.
Nope.
So, like, gratitude.
There you go.
Yeah.
Gratitude. If the universe is just hearing, I can see my car, I can see my house, I can see this, and I want this, and I want that, and I want the rest of it, and I want all of this. And the universe is saying, wait a minute, all right, we've got your shopping list for what you want. What about the things that you've already got? Why haven't we heard about the things you've got? Why haven't we heard?
Sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Why? We're hearing I want, but we're not hearing thank you. I'm grateful for waking up this morning because somebody didn't. I'm grateful for my friends and family. I've got enough money to pay my bills and my food, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you, universe. I'm really, really grateful for that. Right? If the universe is not first and foremost hearing that every day, and all it's hearing is I want, it's like your mother saying, you ungrateful cow.
I was going to say it's like a naughty child
Yeah,
where they just went, I want, and I'll scream and I'll scream and I'll scream.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah, right. And the universe is saying, wait a minute, she's got a house, she wants another one. She's got a car, she wants another one. She's got money, she's paid the bills, she's paid the food, but she wants more. But whereas, thank you for what I've got already, it's non-existent. Right? It's non-existent. All the universe is hearing is, I want a bigger house. I want to live forever. Don't we all? I want, I want to go on a world cruise. I want an overflowing bank account where I don't have to worry about what I want to buy. And the universe is going, yeah, and I hear what you want. You've got a shopping list that, that is for all the things in Harrods. But what about the things you've got? What about the things that you already have? That most
like
people
when you're
don't.
grateful for your children or your animals, or like you said, even if you don't like your house, it's downside better than being on the streets. So
Exactly.
I understand the gratitude bit.
Yeah. But there's another step before we even get to the manifestation and imagination. So we've got the gratitude as step 1. Can anyone tell me what step 2 is?
Is it putting like a list of priorities of what you would want first and then?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Affirmations.
Affirmations is one part of it, yep. Affirmations is a really big part of it, to be honest. But there's
What about your goals?
There's another step 2 after gratitude. And I can see Miss Sparkle saying step 1, I want to get this in order. I can actually see us saying step 1, I want to do this in steps.
I'm writing it all down.
I know you
Do
are.
you have to write your intentions down and your goals?
No, you do, but that's not in step 2.
I don't know then.
Your step 2, mindset. If you're writing your gratitude, I want, I am grateful that I got a house. I'm grateful that I've got money. I'm grateful that I've got another day to live. I'm grateful for my partner. I'm grateful for my pets. I'm grateful for all of this. That's absolutely amazing that you're grateful for that. But your next thing is, a lot of people will say that. They'll write their gratitude list. And then the human mind is saying, you're having a laugh, eh? You honestly think that where you are now and you being grateful for that is going to get you where you're going to be. It's not. Right? Mm-hmm. Self-doubt, negativity. Right? And then you go and tell your friends, oh, I do a gratitude list. And your friends will say, oh, that's a load of bollocks. Right? That can set you in from a positive mindset to a negative. And if that happens, your step 1's basically gone. You have to get the mindset right. So step 2 of any manifestation to get the life you desire has to be mindset. It's turning the switch from thinking negative to thinking positive. So step 2 would be being aware of your thoughts and keeping a thought journal. It's so important when you're doing mindset to keep a thought journal. Why? Because it's so easy to ignore positive ones and embrace the negative ones without even thinking about it, because in this world that we are living, we are actually brainwashed to think negative, not positive. So you need to train your brain to reverse that. And the way to do that is have a journal, and we're going into different types of journal just shortly. But the way to do that is having a journal that is specifically for mindset. I call mine my positivity journal.
Oh, is that the black book that you've got?
You can use that for that as well, because that has like more than one. This one, yeah, because this one is a really, really good one. And the reason it's a good one is because every page has a positive saying. For example, I've just opened this page. We don't build services in order to make money. We make money in order to build better services.
Oh, I like that.
Right? So even before you've even know anything, you've got a different saying. Like on the other page opposite it, most men at 25, we just don't bury them until they're 70. Think about that one. But you know what I mean? So every day you're starting off with a positivity. So this one, this is why I like this one. It kind of gives you the positivity. What am I looking forward to today? What are the 3 things I am grateful for in my life right now? There's your gratitude. How can I start my day off in a positive note? Again, that's thinking positive. How can I start my day positive? Not negative, positive. Again, it's reiterating the positivity. What would make today great? Again, it's not saying what would make today an awful day. It's saying what would make today great. So yeah, you can, if you chose, use this as a gratitude and a positive mindset one. What can I do today to make a positive difference in someone else's life? Again, not a negative difference, but a positive difference. What can I do today to help somebody in a really positive, practical way? Well, I can go on a live and I can teach about positivity and manifestation and affirmations, right? Now that's just during your day. But then it has nighttime as well. So it has the sun at the top for daytime, and then it has the moon. At the end of your day, you go back to your journal. What were the 2 good things that happened today? What am I proud of today? What are you proud of? What did you achieve? Why are you proud of yourself today? You should be proud of yourself today, right? If you've had a perfect day and you've had a perfect mindset throughout the day, what are you proud of?
What was the one before that? Like, was it what 2 things?
What 2 good?
What am I proud of?
Yeah. What were 2 good things that happened today?
Okay.
Now, if anybody thinks they could benefit from me doing a daily post, on TikTok, on a subs only post, I could actually do a day-to-day page of this that people can print out if they so wished.
That's an idea. Or we can just scribe it down.
Yeah, or you can just scribe it down and put it in your own journal.
Yeah.
But what I could do is do if you want to see what the page is, I could certainly, as a subscriber, for the subscriber, sorry, every day that I'm doing my journal, I can give you my positive thought that's at the top. And you can
I'd really appreciate that.
Right. So I could do a positive phrase of the day every day, along with your angel guidance, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I would like that.
So that, so for those that have got pen and paper, let me give you the categories so that you can pop them. You could use any notebook then to write it down yourself. All right.
Yeah.
And there are loads of notebooks. Again, you could purchase this. This is on the good old TK. But you could get fancy ones like my grimoire one.
Oh. Is that what it means by fabric? Is that grimoire means the fabric covering?
No, grimoire is the witches.
Oh, okay.
Christian witches, which are Wiccans, call it the Book of Shadows.
Right, okay.
But old traditional pagan witches call it a grimoire, which is the Witch's Book of Secrets.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to be doing grimoires in a later subscriber live topic night.
Right.
Grimoires are wonderful, and if you can get a book like this, I got at a pagan fair, and it is a handmade recycled paper journal, which is every page is stitched in.
That is beautiful.
By hand.
Oh, Lady M, is that what the shadow work books are like? Natalie asked.
Shadow books are books for inner healing from the past. That's a totally different thing.
Okay.
That's a totally different thing. That's working through past trauma, doing shadow work, basically going into your memories from way back and facing them and pulling them out. And yeah, shadow work's really quite difficult. Again, we'll go into shadow work at later subscriber events. But that's a good question, Natalie.
That book's gorgeous. I want one. It's absolutely stunning.
And inside, all the pages are actually handmade paper.
Oh.
So you've actually got this paper, which is quite thick, but it's handmade. The person that did this in the it's a lovely little village not far from us, and they have a witch's shop, and everything in that witch's shop is handcrafted by the witches themselves. And there's a lady that actually makes these books.
They're beautiful. That's beautiful.
And they're really thick. And I keep this as my grimoire, which is my witches. But you don't have to use a book like this as a grimoire. You could use this as a affirmation book. You could use it as your thoughts book, your positive mindset book, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But you don't have to go fancy with journals. A good old-fashioned sparkly notebook would do just the same.
I just bought a notebook for this.
Yeah.
And like you said, just a cheapy one from the works or something, just so that you can.
Another good one that you could have is something like this, an organizer notebook.
Oh, yeah.
Because with your organizer, you've got different sections that you can name whatever those you want. So you could have a section for my gratitude, a section for your mindset, positive mindset, a section for your affirmations, a section for your manifestations,
Yeah.
all in the one. And you would just go to whatever section that you wanted. So you could have something like a journal just like that.
Mm.
You might want something that's got a pretty picture like this one.
Yeah.
And, you know, you might think, well, that's a positive one because it's got the wolf and the moon. That means something to me. And again, this one has handmade paper in it.
Oh, wow.
Lisa Parker does these. It's a lady called Lisa Parker, and you can get her journals on Amazon. She makes the most gorgeous notebooks and things like this. And her name's Lisa Parker. She does handbags with these designs, purses with these designs.
Oh, I think Natalie might have shown me them before.
Yeah. I love Lisa Parker's stuff just because they are beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
So when I'm journaling, I use a lot of her stuff. So, you know, choose a journal that looks pretty to you, that speaks to you, that is your special journal.
Yeah, I write a diary every year. Yeah. And
Yeah.
normally starting in like July, August, I go hunting for my diary. And it takes me that long to find the right one. So
Yeah.
I can totally understand what you mean.
Yeah, it has to call. If you're just going to get a bog standard notebook that doesn't speak to you,
Yeah.
and there's not a joy for you to pick up, you're not going to journal.
Nah.
How many people have started to do journaling and they've gave up on day 3 or 4 or 7?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I can't be bothered doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they let themselves down then because you're not keeping a journal. You're not keeping a track. And think about the day that you're not here.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else is going to find your journals, and that could be somebody else's lifeline.
I actually lost my diary the other day, and it set me in such a panic because I kind of don't let it rule my life, but I write everything in it so that I don't forget things and things like that. And then when I didn't have it and I needed to write something down, it set off like a panic attack.
Yeah.
Because that's if I can't remember it in my head, don't worry, it's in the journal. And then when I couldn't find the journal, it was so scary. I know it sounds silly, but it was really off-putting.
Well, how many people, including my other half, have kept passwords and codes because, you know, you're forever forgetting your passwords and stuff. So you write them in a journal, and then what happens? Or a notebook, and you lose a notebook.
Yeah.
Same thing. Whereas what I tend to do, if I've got passwords, etc., and it's just a little tip, is especially for Facebook Messenger, it's a really, really good way of doing it. When you go to compose a message yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
So I message myself with my passwords and stuff. So if I lose my journal, I just need to go onto my message and all my passwords are there.
Yeah.
It's another way of doing it. Or
I
you
think
can.
I'm old school. I'm still stuck in the pen and paper.
Yeah. Or if you've got a laptop or a computer, you can set up a notebook on your computer that has all your passwords and stuff.
Yeah.
In my very old computer that I had years ago, I actually had a journal, and I used to just type my journal every day.
Wow.
Because you can actually make ebooks and e-journals and stuff like that.
Oh, apparently Temu have got password books specifically. That's what Natalie uses.
Yeah. But then again, if you lose your password book, it's the same as your journal. If you lose your password book, you've lost your passwords. And then it sets another panic in. Oh, I've lost that password book. Who's got my password book? Who knows all my passwords?
Yeah. Oh, I'd absolutely die if somebody read my diary. I'm like, oh God, I'm going to have to burn them before leaving this earth because, yeah, oh God.
Yeah. Do you know, back in the day, especially with the witches' grimoires, if a witch knew she was coming near the end of her days, she would actually burn or bury her grimoire if she didn't have anybody to pass it down to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh God, I was making that up a minute ago, but it's come, yeah.
Yeah. There's an old past life house in the village that we stay in. And I said to Mal, that used to be my old coven. And I said to Mal, I just want to go into the garden. And he says, what, see the plants? I says, no, to dig up my grimoire that I've got buried in there.
Oh wow. Was it there?
Yeah. I didn't go into the garden and dig it up, but I knew it was in there.
Wow.
I think the woman in the house would have gone ballistic if I'd just gone in with a shovel and spade and started digging up her precious garden. I don't think she would have been very pleased.
No.
But yeah, when I was getting near to the end of my days or whatever, or I felt that was coming near, or I just wanted to, you know, if it was a grimoire that had finished and had started a new one, I would bury it in the garden.
Yeah, because I never know what to do with my old diaries. They're actually in a vintage trunk, and there's obviously like tens and tens of them. I guess maybe when I do pass, the kids will read them or whatever. But like with the sort of the witches' Bible kind of thing, when you finished it, do you keep it or do you have to bury it?
The rule of thumb is, if you've got some kids or grandkids that you can pass it down to that you know are witches like yourself,
Yeah.
you can pass your grimoire down to them before you go, or you can leave it in your will.
Right. Okay.
That's why witches' grimoires are written in code.
Oh, okay.
Because obviously, if you passed away suddenly, you haven't got time to bury it or hand it down,
No.
and anybody could read your grimoire.
Yeah.
So this is a crazy part of modern society. Years ago, there was no computers, there was nothing. So a witch could write in her grimoire and she could code it with a certain code that was called the witch's code, and only witches knew that code. As time progressed, you got the Christian witches coming in, and then we got computers, and they decided to publish the witch's code to teach other witches the code. Who can see what's wrong with that?
Yeah, exactly. Because then everybody's got it.
Absolutely.
Not just the ones that it's intended for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you Google now witch's code, you will get the old-fashioned witch's code.
Yeah.
Which is why I teach a different code.
Yeah, it takes the specialness and the privacy away as well, doesn't it? If everybody knows what it is, then you don't have that security of knowing that unless somebody that you actually trust with it can read it. If you think, God, I could leave it out and everybody could read it, then you would be less likely to put such personal things in.
Yep. Which is why old traditional witches like myself now disregard the old code and we make our new ones up.
Right.
And we show you how to do that. So that you're the only one that does it. So that people think, oh, this isn't Witch's code, I'll Google it. Oh, well, I've Googled it, but it doesn't make sense. No, of course it doesn't, because we don't use Google code, we've used another code.
Yeah.
That kind of.
Just come in.
Yeah, Gemma's just come in.
Hi, Gemma. You haven't missed much, honestly. We are just talking about manifestation and journals. And we've spoke about step 1 and 2. Step 1, I'm going to test Miss Sparkles now. Miss Sparkles will tell you what step 1 is.
Step 1 is gratitude to the universe for the things that you already have.
Yeah. And how would you do that?
You would say, thank you, universe, or you'd say 3 things that you're thankful for.
Yep.
You would then do like, what would make today great? What could I do to help make a positive in somebody else's day today? What am I proud of? Then you would do the affirmations, then the manifestations, and that's how far we've got. Yeah.
Yeah.
Says Nikki the nerd.
Yeah. So step 1, your gratitude. It's not just a case of getting up in the morning and saying it, it's writing it first. So you would basically say it and write it. So your gratitudes every day could be different. What I tend to do is when I wake up in the morning, this one thing that I always do is a dream journal, but that's a different topic. I would do my dream journal first, then I would do my gratitude journal. And I would always start my gratitude journal. If it's not in an all-in-one book like this one, which you can get on TikTok Shop, and I have put in the title that we're talking about journals. So you can get this journal on TikTok, but you can use any journal for a gratitude one. So I used to have a gratitude journal for step 1, positive mindset journal for step 2. Step 3 would be my affirmation book, so I'd write all my affirmations, and step 4 would be the manifestations, and I would do that every single day. It's 4 steps every single day.
Sorry, what was step 2 again?
Step 2, positive mindset.
But yeah, so you said write that down. What kind of things then would you write down with your positive mindset?
Well, in my positive mindset journal, I would write down, I usually, you can have 3 things, 4 things, 5 things, 6 things.
Mm.
I usually have 7 because I like the number 7. I like Witchy 7, and I just think it's a nice number without having to go through a whole list of gratitudes.
No, I'm like that about number 5 because I was born on the 5th. My son was born on the 5th, and I just so I understand. Yeah,
so you could choose. I want to do 5 positivity ones.
Yeah.
So when I get up in the morning, I do my dream journal. Then I get my gratitude journal, and I would write in my gratitude journal. The first thing I always write, and it's in every single day. Universe, I am grateful that I woke up this morning because somebody didn't. Thank you for giving me another day. That's the first thing I always say, because you're thanking the universe for allowing you to have another day because somebody else didn't. And I always put things like, what could be like, Mine always goes along the lines of universe. Always start your gratitude with universe. Universe, I am grateful that I woke up today because somebody didn't. Because tell the universe, why am I grateful for that? I'm grateful for that because somebody didn't wake up this morning. So I'm grateful for that. Universe, I am grateful I still have my partner by my side every day. Somebody doesn't have anybody to wait to. Universe, I'm grateful for my children and grandchildren. Some women would love a child and can't have. Universe, I am grateful for the little money that I have. It might not be a lot, but I'm grateful for the little that I have because somebody doesn't even have a penny to spare.
Yeah.
Universe, I'm grateful for my home. It might not be the most fancy home in the world, but I've got a roof over my head. Somebody's sleeping on the street, so I'm grateful for that. Universe, I'm grateful to have a small circle of friends because there are other people in this world that don't have anybody. And then throughout the day, you can go back to that gratitude journal and read it. Because the more that you read what you've wrote down during the day, the more it seeps into your subconscious. So you're already thinking about the things, and that goes hand in hand with step 2, which is a positive mindset.
I was just about to ask that. Step 1 and step 2 are very similar, aren't they?
They're very, very similar.
So can you use that sort of universe, I'm grateful for my children because some people today don't have the joy of experiencing being like a mummy.
Yes, perfect.
So that would then go with the gratitude as well. So I could mix those together, yeah.
Well, that is all gratitude. You're grateful for,
I know, then is that my positive mindset as well?
No,
All
that's
right,
your gratitude.
Right.
Right? So your gratitude is everything that you're grateful for.
Yeah.
And why you're grateful for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's your gratitude. There is parts of that is positive because if you're, and this is the thing. Manifestation. Every step is a positive step. That's why it's so confusing. Some, like people are saying, like Miss Sparkles is saying, oh, is that my positivity one? Because it sounds so positive. Well, yeah, gratitude is positive. It's a positive energy, but it's not positive mindset.
Right.
But it's every step that we're going to go through today, all these 4 steps, they're all positive, but it's not positive mindset. It's positive steps to take you to the life that you deserve. All right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got your gratitude, step 1. Step 2, that's your positive mindset. Your positivity mindset journal. Yep, you can use this one. I actually use this one, but I also use my 4 journals, to be honest. Because this one will give you a brief overrun of a lot of the steps. But your journals will give you more. Just because of the lack of space that you've got here. But then you could do that in you could write the 4 steps in the journal that I showed earlier on, where you've got the segments.
Yeah.
So you could have 4 segments. You could have the gratitude, the positive mindset, the affirmations and the manifestations all in the one. But you would have like a whole page that you could write your stuff down in. Again, you could have individual ones, but you might just want a nice fancy book. So you can get a fancy book like this. Well, not an upside down wolf, obviously, but which is the Lisa Parker books that I absolutely love. I love her. I love her work. I love her artwork. They're so, you know, so close to my heart.
Natalie's got them all as well.
Yeah,
She's got all the books and even the little bags.
yeah. Lisa Parker's just
Yeah.
her stuff is just amazing. I've actually got a Lisa Parker spirit board.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And it's the most beautiful, beautiful board. I will show you that one day when we're doing spirit boards. But her spirit boards and angel boards are absolutely stunning. And so, and again, she works on positive imagery and stuff like that. So going on to your step 2, or your step 2, or your number 2 journal, and you would have this journal as a positive mindset. So you would title it Positive Mindset, because if you give it the title Positive Mindset, it's letting you know that it's all about positive thinking in the head.
Yeah.
So with my positivity or positive mindset journal, when I started my uplifting my energy after escaping abuse, I had to get rid of all the negativity. I had to also clear away negative thoughts that you get gaslighted with when you're in an abusive relationship or a marriage. Right? Look at the world around us. You put the radio or the news on. Is it positive? No, it's negative. Right? Even the weather nowadays is negative. It's going to be rain tomorrow. Thanks. Right? So there's a lot of negative. If you think about politics, negative. Religion, negative. Right? The news, negative. Right? Going to work half the time and following rules at work, negative. We are absolutely bombarded by negative. And think of the COVID years. During the COVID years, negativity was huge. Didn't matter whether you turned your radio on or your telly, the message was still, it was repeated messages every 15 minutes most of the time on adverts and stuff like that. Close your windows. Don't visit your relatives. Stay indoors. Wear masks. Get vaccinated. Do this, do that, do the next thing. Because if you don't do this, this will. Scaremongering came into it. Blackmail come into it. But how many people were drawn into all of that?
Yeah.
Right? When you think about the people like the nurses, the people on the front line, right? People, gas men that have to go into people's homes. They were forced to get vaccinated or lose their jobs.
Yeah.
Right? That is blackmail at its worst. It's like, well, if you don't do what I tell you, you lose your job. And it was horrific. Because a lot of people that wore masks for, I mean, look at nurses, they can work 12, 14 hours a day. And in that, they're wearing a mask for 12, 14 hours a day. And many of them now have respiratory problems, or they have ear problems.
Yeah, I was going to say, my friend that was a nurse, I actually stitched her like these foam things that went over the ear bands so that because the rubbing was so bad if you put these foam things on. But then a lot of my friends that are in the medical and care field, they got spots and everything round their mouth from the masks and everything.
Yeah.
And we still battled on and to help other people.
Yeah. It caused a lot of respiratory problems.
Mm.
It caused a lot of breathing issues. Because if you think about it, we breathe in oxygen and we breathe out toxins. And your next breath in, you're breathing in oxygen and toxins.
Yeah.
And if you think about that times 12 hours, was it any wonder that the nurses had health issues? And many people did have health issues after the COVID years with constant wearing of masks.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, even to this day, I still see people wearing masks because of the fear.
They do it. Yeah, they do in the main hospital that I go to.
Yeah. It's almost like they are petrified.
Mm.
And again, that comes to positive mindset and fear mongering.
Right.
Right. Human beings are not supposed to be walking around covering their mouth and nose because that's their life force. If we were meant to be born with masks, we would have been born with a mask on our face.
Yeah.
Right. It's as simple as that. So positive mindset. Throughout the COVID, I kept a positive mindset. I didn't get vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch the television. I didn't listen to the advice on the radio because I didn't have the radio on. Obviously, you can't ignore it when you walk down the high street and they've got signs everywhere, keep your distance, keep 2 feet apart and all the rest of it. You can't avoid that. And, even going into a shop and people wearing masks. I actually printed out a little printed form that I could get online that says because of health issues, I'm exempt from wearing a mask. And I got away with. And I had one woman said, no, that doesn't count. And I says, yes, it does. I says, can I ask you, if I was to wear a mask and I passed out or I injured myself, are you first aid qualified? She went, no. I says, well, I'm not wearing a mask. I says, it's human rights. So it's knowing what you're entitled to, etc., etc. So throughout the whole COVID, I didn't get vaccinated. That was my choice. I chose not to get vaccinated. I chose not to wear the masks. If I wanted to walk in the woods, I would walk in the woods. I would.
Would one of them be like, don't listen to bad advice that would bring you down?
Yeah.
Right.
My first one in my positive mindset is man-made rules can be broken.
I like that.
Man-made rules can be broken. Because who made the rules? Man. Did the universe make the rule? No. The government's made the rule. If the universe didn't make the rule, I don't have to follow it. So all my life, I followed my rule, universal rule. Whereas the universal rule is found in your gut instinct. But we're so consumed by negativity, we've lost the skill of listening to our intuition. How many times have you went to do something and you've had the strong urge, don't do that, but your mind is saying, but you want to do that. And you're fighting your mind against your heart, your gut instinct or your gut feeling.
Yeah.
Right? Your gut feeling is your intuition. It's your guide saying, no, don't do that, right? But how many of us, and probably everybody here, at some point, I want to do this, I'm going to do this, and you've got to say, no, please don't, please don't. But you go and do it anyway, and it goes tits up.
Tits up. Oh,
Yeah. Why did
we've
it go
got to
tits
stop
up?
doing that.
Yeah, I know. Right? Why did it do that? Because your intuition was screaming at you, please don't do that.
Yeah.
That's not a good idea. So please don't do that, but you do it anyway. And then later on you think, I wish I'd listened to my gut.
Yeah.
Everybody has said that at one time, right? I wish I'd listened to my gut.
Yeah.
And it's the same when if you're an empath, you can be near somebody. Now you don't know what it is, but your gut is saying, I wouldn't go near that one with a barge pole.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to know why you shouldn't go near that person with a barge pole. You just need to trust your gut is saying, no, don't listen to that. Right? Your eyes are the mirrors to your soul. And if you combine your eyes with your gut feelings, you've got positive mindset because it won't let you down.
Right.
So if I meet somebody that I don't know, or even if it's online, if I've got a clear photo of that person, even through a photo, I can read their eyes.
Mm.
And it's through the eyes that gives me the feelings that's in my gut. Now, if those gut feelings are negative, I just won't go near that person. Because my intuition, i.e. my guides, are saying, no.
Yeah.
Right? How many times, Miss Sparkles, have you said to me, I think that person's all right, and I'll say to you, no, it hasn't. And then later on you think, Lady M, you were right.
Yeah.
Right? How did I know? Because I read the person's photo.
Yeah. I do get it right sometimes.
You do. You do. But again, that's something that you can journal in your positive mindset. Journal, right? It's kind of like, I met this person today, and I actually, instead of listening to my head and following all the nice things, like the love bombing that some people can give you to try and trick you and pull the wool over your eyes, instead of listening to my head, I listen to my heart.
Yeah.
Which is connected to my subconscious, which is connected to my positive mindset. And I actually listened to my heart. My heart said, don't go near that person. And I didn't. And guess what? It turned out all right.
Yeah.
But you can also put in your positive mindset the mistakes you've made. So you could put in your positive mindset, because again, it's lessons learned as well. So you could put, I actually met this person today, and you know what? This person said the nicest of things. They gave me the nicest of gifts, etc. online. They did all of this. And I just thought they were an amazing person, and then they bloody came at me and stabbed me in the back. Put that in your positivity journal. Because even though it wasn't positive, it's still a reminder to be aware of who you trust.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just wouldn't know how to verbalize, like obviously I know the gratitude and I know how to sort of verbalize that and put it into individual gratitudes, and saying thank you universe for this reason. But with the
Positive mindset.
positive mindset, I'm just struggling a little bit harder just to
Right, let's
get it.
Right, so let's break that down. Right, let's break the positivity journal down into a day, right, for you. Right, you wake up in the morning, the sun's out. Oh, it's sunny outside. That's going to be a nice day, right? So you write in your positive journal, the sun's out today. I feel wonderful because the sun's out, right?
Or like maybe waking up and I've not had an accident, I would
Yeah.
put some. Right, okay, I get
Right?
that. Okay.
I woke up today, I didn't have an accident.
Yeah,
Right? That's a positive, right?
right.
But even if you did wake up and you had an accident, right? How many times do you beat yourself up about it, right? You might feel embarrassed, you might feel angry or annoyed at yourself,
Yeah.
right? Which is a negative.
Mm-hmm.
So when you actually start feeling like that, right?
Yeah.
What you then do is, wait a minute. So say you had an accident in the middle of the night
Mm-hmm.
and you wake up and your first thought is, shit,
Literally.
yeah, right? This is going to be a shit day. As soon as those words come out your mouth,
Mm-hmm.
tell yourself, cancel, clear, delete that. It's a blip. The rest of the day's going to be fine. It's no big deal. It happens. It's something that I can't control. So therefore, it's not important. Can you see how that changes it? Whereas if you're kind of saying to you, when I lost my sight, oh my gosh, the negativity that came out my mouth most days was terrible.
Yeah, me too.
I would bump into something and think, these stupid eyes of mine, right?
Yeah.
Why did I have to, why did they fucking take away my eyes, right?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 right? And then that can lead to another negative and then another negative. And before you know it, you've got a whole day that you're feeling crap, right?
Yeah.
We need to break that cycle. We need to see the bigger picture. Yeah, we've lost our vision.
Mm-hmm.
But bumping into something, all right, instead of saying, my bloody stupid eyes, or whatever, swearing and cursing at yourself, or blaming the operation that went badly wrong or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get past that? Well, if we bump into something, okay, lesson learned, universe. I'll walk a little bit slower and I'll pay more attention so that I don't bump into anything.
So it's flipping it on its head, pretty much. It's taking that negative and taking a positive out of the negative
Yes.
bit. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm like re-asking questions, but obviously, like, because I have got
This is what I'm here
brain
for.
injury. I know, but I hope I'm not pissing Steffi or
Right.
Natalie and
Stop
Gemma
that
off.
sentence right there. Right?
Yeah.
Reverse it. It is okay to ask these questions because if I don't ask, I don't learn.
I know it just takes a little bit longer to get in these days, but
Yeah. But see how you were going into a negative spin without even thinking about it there.
yeah, true.
Right? Because you were going, I'm sorry I'm asking all these questions because it takes me a little bit longer to process blah, 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 right? Again, you're giving yourselves negatives. It's almost like, oh, I shouldn't have asked those questions because, I feel
don't
bad
wanna
for asking
piss
these
people
questions.
off.
Yeah, right. I'm pissing people off, right? Flip it. It's
Yeah.
okay to ask these questions because if I didn't ask the questions and I didn't understand it, I wouldn't be able to take it all in. So it's okay for me to ask those questions so that I can get the best out of this class.
Can I just explain something, right? Natalie, I do ask a lot of questions, and Natalie, the little shit, has just put in the chat, all I'm saying is 2 lungs, right? We were at a hospital and we were just talking and stuff, and I just happened to say that obviously we only get like 2 kidneys, 1 liver, 1 lung. And she went, what? And I went, Yeah, 2 kidneys, 1 liver, 1 lung. And she was like, right, we actually get 2 lungs. And I was like, oh, okay. Since that, right, she has never let me forget that I got to 47 not realizing that we had 2 lungs instead of 1.
Yeah.
So I'm just putting myself out there before she puts another thing in the comments, little bugger.
Yeah. But you see what it means.
No, I understand, yeah, now about flipping it and
Yeah. But you
yeah.
know what? That takes a lot of people think, oh, that's easy. It's not.
No.
Because if you're walking about all day, you're gonna have these negative thoughts coming in,
Yeah.
but you're gonna automatically ignore the positive ones and go for the negative ones. Whereas it's training your brain to realize when there's a negative thought coming in
Right.
and when to flip it. That's why I'm saying when you're keeping your thoughts journal, don't just put your positive thoughts that you do have. Do put down, I had a negative thought today and I switched it up by
Yeah.
saying this. So today I swore because I bumped into a table and I was blaming the operation and everything, but I flipped it.
Yeah.
And I said, I have to be more careful and then if I'm more careful and I take my time instead of rushing about the house, I wouldn't have stubbed my toe in the first place.
Yeah.
See how, so you're basically writing that in. And if you're reading your positive thought journal back, it's instilling, well, that's how I used to think things.
Yeah.
But I flipped that.
Yeah. So like I could say, yeah, like you said, I woke up and I hadn't had an accident, or I spilt pouring some juice into a beaker. So now what I've done is I've got one of those beepers that you put on the beaker.
Yeah.
And I've also bought like lidded drinks so that when, so is it also like putting things like that in as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like I used to have accidents during the night. Now I have special waterproof stuff
Yeah.
that means I don't have to strip the whole bed or the mattress isn't getting ruined.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It's not feeling bad about having the accident because that accident is part of your health condition, which again is something that you can't control. If you can't control it, why beat yourself up about it?
Yeah.
It's we can't control losing our sight. We've lost our sight.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no point in us getting angry about that. Getting angry about losing your vision is a human brain type thing, right? It's a human brain saying, this is not good. Whereas the positive minded person would say, okay, so what?
Right.
I'm not the only blind person in the world. I just have to learn to do things differently, and that's okay.
And I could also put that I met you and you have helped me massively, given me advice saying, why don't you try it this way? Or, look at me, I've got my own channel and everything like that, and I'm helping people.
Yeah.
So I am appreciative of like people like you and my friends and stuff.
Yeah. Well, in that one statement, you've just done a gratitude and a positive mindset in one.
Yeah, I think
I'm
that's
grateful
why
for.
I'm getting confused.
Yeah, I'm grateful I met Lady M.
Yeah.
And if it hadn't been, Lady M taught me how to take something that I've thought was a negative thing and turn it into a beautiful positive thing.
Yeah, that's a great example. I'm going to put that one down. Yeah.
Right? So you're doing 2 journals at the same time.
Yeah, I get that one. Yeah. I understand it now you've put it like that.
When I used to start my journal, and I used to get a little mini notepad so that if I was out and about and I had a negative thought, I just took out my little mini notepad and I wrote it in that. And then when I got home, I put it in my big journal. That way you're listening to your thoughts throughout the day as well when you're out and about.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it now.
Right? So it's like, oh, darn it, I've missed the bus. I'm going to be late for my work. Right? Instead of saying that and saying, oh, darn it, I've missed the bus. I knew I should have left the house. Or note to oneself, leave the house, Lady M, 10 minutes earlier. Then you wouldn't miss the bus. So it's turned, instead of saying, damn bloody bus, it's came in a minute earlier than what it should have done. Now I'm going to be late for work. Now boss is going to kick my ass. Now I'm going to get right. And you get yourself into a load of negatives. Whereas, all right, I missed the bus. My fault, because lesson learned, universe, I'll get up a little bit earlier. I'll leave the house 10 minutes earlier. Then I won't miss the bus. I'll let the boss know I'm going to be half an hour late because the bus came early. I've informed my manager that I'm going to be late, so the rest of the day is going to be my best day. Instead of taking one negative and then going into another and then into another. And again, that's something you could take your little notepad out. Just missed the bus, no big deal. Lesson for today. Get to the bus stop 10 minutes earlier.
Gemma's put that she listens to Bob Marley's Three Little Birds for some positivity.
Yep, music.
So could you put music in your positive mindset bit?
Yep.
Right.
I was feeling crap today and I put a song on and now I feel absolutely amazing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
My best one, see if somebody really pisses me off. My best song to put on is, this is my fight song.
Yes.
Feeling all right song.
Yeah.
You know, and then that just, right, I've got it. I'm off. I'm good for the day.
Yeah. I've got a couple of fight songs like Titanium by Sia.
Titanium.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then that the new one that's the like it says like something about my shield is my armor and my Porsche. Oh, Steffi, help me out here. You know what it is.
I haven't got a clue what you're on about.
It's on TikTok virtually every day. I'll have to let you know, but
Steffi, help me out. I don't know what you're on about.
I know. I don't, but yeah,
I think I do know what you're on about, actually. Is it?
Put my armor on and
I put my armor on, show you
that's
how
it. You're
strong I
someone
am.
else. Yes.
I put my armor on. I'm
what I am.
I'm a force of inspiration.
Yes,
I'm
invincible. Yeah,
and I
that's
will
the
never
one.
let you down. Yep.
Yeah, that's another one that I put on when I'm just feeling cack.
Yep.
And it just gets
It lifts you.
to like go, yeah. Or I put Freddie on, obviously, but you know that. Yeah, so I've got that in my positive mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when I first left abuse, my Get Up and Fight Back song was Shania Twain, Black Eyes, Blue Tears.
Oh, I've not heard that.
She actually wrote it for abused women to find their self-esteem and stop blaming themselves. It is a fantastic song. And it's kind of like, no more crying in the corner, no more bruising or abusing. I'd rather die standing than live on my knees, begging please, no more black eyes. I don't need 'em, blue tears. Give me freedom, Black eyes are all behind me. Blue tears will never find me now.
Oh, I'm going to download that. I love the words to that.
And at the end, she'll say, find your self-esteem and be forever free to dream.
Natalie's put hers is How Bad Can I Be from the Lorax.
Yeah.
Oh, I've not heard that one either.
So in your positivity mindset journal, have a little section in there that says songs for bad mood. Songs
I've already
for...
done that. I've got that in my... Oh, that's weird. I've written down all the songs, and it says awesome songs to cheer me up. And I've got about 30. The last one is Rasputin, Boney M.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That goes into your positive thought journal.
Oh, that's amazing. That makes more sense. Thank you.
So instead of just having like a list just randomly written down somewhere, put it in your positivity thought journal. Because when you have a negative thought or you're feeling a crap day, right, I'm going to pick a song from this list and put it on.
Yeah. Or maybe even make like a songs list on ALXCA and then just say, play me one from that particular list.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes loads of sense. Thank you.
Yeah. You can also use, I used to sell a lot of them when I used to make them, cancel, clear, delete, negativity bracelet.
I love that saying.
Right. So I'll give you an example. I'm going to use Piku because I know that Miss Sparkles has already got a Piku. But Piku is also money manifestation, so it kind of goes hand in hand with your manifestations.
Yeah.
Right. But did you know you can use your Piku for negativity?
Oh.
So I'm going to put PQ on this hand because I've got my other positivity one on there. So I've got my PQ and his head is facing out the way to bring money in towards me. All right?
Yeah.
So I've just had a negative thought come to my mind.
Right.
I'll take my bracelet and I'll start at the PQ's head and I'll say, I'll touch a bead, cancel, clear, delete all negativity. Then I'll go to the next one, cancel, clear, delete all negativity. Just say it in your head, cancel, clear, delete all negativity. By the time you've done a couple of those beads, you've cancelled that negative thought.
They kind of do that with the rosary, don't they? But in a different way.
In a different way. The rosary is just affirming the prayer to God or whatever else. But a lot of people bought my stress bracelets. One, they were made of crystals, but so's Piku, really. And Piku has got the black obsidian, which is the most positive, negative kicking crystal you can get. So Piku would be an ideal one, but if you wanted a personalised one, come the autumn, I am going to be making my bracelets again. I've had so many people ask me to do it, restart doing it, so that's what I'm going to do. And I thought the autumn's a good way, because what I used to do before, during the summer when the weather's hot and stuff like that, me and my other half, we usually go out and whatever. In the winter, we kind of hibernate a little bit. Yeah. So I've got more time in the winter in the autumn and the winter to make my bracelets during the day. Or days that I'm off, I can make my bracelets and mass produce them. because I don't just make the bracelets. I put Reiki healing in them. And I also put spiritual healing in them, and I also cleanse them and bless them for you. And it goes the same way with I've got witches ones as well. The witches ones, you have 3 beads. You might have 3 different like wooden beads, and then you'll have a crystal. 3 beads and a crystal. The reason I do that is with the witches one, you would go cancel, clear, delete all negativity with the 3 wooden beads. And when you get to the crystal, you would say, so mote it be, blessed be.
Right.
And then you would go around the bracelet until you got back to the charm on the bracelet.
So you would go through Piku and say the cancel, clear, delete, or you go through him and you say, what was that one that you've just said?
Cancel, clear, delete all negativity.
Yeah.
So mote it be.
Yes, that was it. So mote it be, but sorry.
And blessed be at the end of that.
Right.
That's the witch's way of doing it, is cancel, clear, delete all negativity. As I will it, so mote it be, blessed be. But if you're just doing a Piku, you could just simply say cancel, clear, delete all negativity. Cancel, clear, delete all negativity. With the Piku, if you notice on the Piku, if I take him off, if you notice on the Piku, he's got, next to the Piku, you've got 1 black bead, and then you've got a gold one, and then a black.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't even need to go all the way through. You could use this as a anti-negativity one by going all the way through.
Yeah.
So you could, if you wanted to do it all the way through, cancel, clear, delete all negativity until you get to his bum.
Yeah.
Right? If you wanted to do it the witch's way, you could simply just use 3 beads. Start at the 2, start at the 2 black ones.
Yeah.
So hold the 2 black ones, right? Or you could start at this side, cancel, clear, delete all negativity, touch the gold one, as I will it, so mote it be, blessed be. And then you could go to the next side, cancel, clear, delete all negativity, as I will it, so mote it be. And then you could even do the blessed be on the crystal. Whichever way you want it, felt like doing it.
Yeah.
So you could use the Piku as both one that you could do all the way around. Rule of thumb, if I was in a room of negative people and I felt really uncomfortable because the people that were in the room were really negative, I'd go all the way around the bracelet saying cancel, clear, delete negativity.
Yes.
Because you could be sitting in that room for about half an hour with these people.
Yeah.
So rather than me concentrating on the people and reading these people and getting all the negative vibes coming at me, I ignore the people and I go around my bracelet.
Right. Yeah. And it's a comfort thing as well, isn't it? When you like rubbing like an item or yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So you could put that in your positivity journal as well. When I'm feeling negative, I will use my Piku.
Yeah.
Because Piku will take away, remember Piku serves you.
Yeah.
So Piku will take away your negative thinking. Another thing that you put into your positivity journal, I will remember to laugh, smile, and dance. How many times, Miss Sparkles, have you maybe come onto my lives and you've maybe been okay and you've maybe been a little bit down sometimes, and then I say something and Miss Sparkles basically laughs and giggles till she almost pees herself, etc. And the rest of the live is so much positive, right? Why was that? Because Miss Sparkle started laughing.
Yeah.
And when Miss Sparkle started laughing, Kitty started laughing. Then Steph would start laughing. Why? Because smiling and laughing is infectious.
Yeah.
And if you think, well, I don't have anything to laugh about, right? Think of a previous life where we did laugh. Think back to a funny period, and it makes you laugh.
Yeah, Gemma's put she makes us all laugh. It's because she's bonkers.
Yeah. Swingy, swingy. Well, that gets everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I bring out Swingy Dingy and everybody's like on the floor.
Yeah.
Right? Etc. Right?
Yeah.
And heaven forbid I bring my cat balls out, because that just empties
that
the
just
room.
ends as...
Yeah. Right? Vibrators. Just saying. Right, there you go, see?
I just said he took a drag of a babe and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
See what I
It
mean?
is, though. It's the friendship that we've all got as well, which makes it, so much funnier, because it's almost like an in-joke that we know. And yeah.
Yeah. So when you're feeling down, take yourself back to one of our lives and what I've said, or what Kitty said, or what you've said in the past that's got us all pretty much on the floor.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the things you put in your positivity. Today I laughed so hard because Lady M brought her bloody vibrators and her bloody flashing balls into the live. Right?
Yeah.
And we don't think of that. We don't think of the times that we've sat here, or the times that I've went and did a catch up with my mods in the mod. And honestly, the tears that have come out my mods' eyes is just unbelievable, because they're all on the floor.
Because we're all bonkers.
Yeah. Right? But laughter, music, and dance raises your vibration.
Yeah.
Paying attention to your thoughts. And the more that you pay attention to your thoughts, what you eventually find, especially when you read back, because always read back your journals as well. Don't just write them and then forget about them, right? The whole point of journaling is you can turn any page and think, oh my gosh. And you could go back to your journals in a year's time and think, that's where I was a year ago.
Yeah, how the hell did I get through that?
Yeah, and a year on, I don't think negative anymore.
Yeah.
It might have taken me a year to get to that point, but I did it.
Yeah.
And the key to the journaling, folks, is not just what you've written down. It's not just repeating it every day. It's consistency. If you're not consistent, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
Right? If you're going to just do your journal on a Monday, for example, and Tuesday you think, I can't be bothered to get my journals out. Especially if you've got 4 journals, it's like, oh, it's a chore.
Yeah.
But if you have, what I used to do, because when I first started, I thought, oh God, 4 journals to go through. So what I did was, on my dressing table, I had the 4 journals, 1, 2, 3, 4, laid out with a pen. And I would get up, do my dream journal, which was always at the side of my bed. And then I would have my coffee, and I would sit with my coffee and just go through my 4 journals, done, dusted for the day.
Yeah.
And that became a routine.
But with the positive mindset one, some of them you might write at night, mightn't you? Because of what's happened during the day.
Yep. All your 4 journals you can go back to and add to whenever you want to.
Yeah.
Always start your day with your 4 journals, but remember you can go back to them anytime throughout the day.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, I have to write them in the morning and that's it, or I have to write them in the first thing in the morning and last thing at night. No. That's why I always say with your positivity mindset one, take a little mini journal in your handbag if you're going to the shop or you're going out for dinner with friends or whatever, because it's something that you can whip out your bag. Oh, I've had that negative thought. I'm just going to jot some notes down. And then when I get home, I can transfer that into my big.
Or like you said, message, like send a message to yourself so that when you get home, you can see like what that negative thought was.
Yeah.
And then, then you've got your journal as well.
Yeah. How many of us go out with phones in our pockets or in our hands? So just set up a messenger with your name on it, or, positive. You could even set a messenger and call it positive mindset or whatever. Right? So you could write a message to yourself, and your first message on the top of it, or you know how you write a message and you can title it, etc. You can always title that chat or that message.
Yeah.
Positive mindset.
Yeah, and then, or even we've all got now that obviously I'm really badly with my eyesight. I use it like a dictaphone sometimes.
Yeah.
So if I need to remember something, I'll dictaphone it down, and then you can just press play when you get home, and then you can put it in your journals as well.
Yep. Some people actually have mindset dictaphones, a dictaphone just for that, a particular, because you can actually buy the dictaphone machine.
Right.
And you can just press play, record it, and then just play it back when you get home.
In my positive mindset, I've written down my crystals as well.
Yep.
Because a bit like Piku, when I'm trying to relax, I will go to whichever crystal draws me, and then I will work with that one. And obviously when I spoke to Snowflake, she was like, it doesn't matter if, you pick up a citrine and that's meant for like, happiness or money or something, and you want it for like stop panic attacking or whatever, it doesn't matter, just go for whichever one calls. Because I've been having some quite bad panic attacks, and it gives you something to focus on that's not the panic attack. And it's once again that comfort thing.
Let whatever the crystal is, right? The crystal meanings and the different strengths that the crystal have is just one part of that crystal. But the other part of the crystal is you can actually use the crystal to get all anxiety out and give it to the crystal. Give that anxiety to the crystal. Doesn't matter what crystal it is, give it to the crystal. And then on your new moon and your full moon, when you're putting the crystals out, it will cleanse all that negativity away. So does anyone have any more questions before we move on to journal 3?
Gemma's just asking about moldavite. It's very strong, isn't it, moldavite?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about moldavite.
Moldavite is that really green one, isn't it? It's sort of greenish coloured crystal, but moldavite has I would definitely research a moldavite and how your body or your mindset, etc., or if you've got different ailments, because moldavite isn't right for everybody because it's so powerful.
You'll know it.
Yeah. Some people have bought moldavite because they say moldavite can really, really shift your vibration from a low vibration to a high vibration in like milliseconds. But depends on the person's body. That power can sometimes be overwhelming.
I got that with fire quartz.
Yeah.
Fire quartz really gave me a shift. But yeah, Gemma, I'll ask the person that I get mine off to tell you to like message you or whatever.
You've got one, haven't you? That sounds. What's this? One
I've got selenite.
Selenite.
It's very similar. It's very similar to that.
Oh, is it? Oh, I've got loads of selenite. I wear it on me all the time.
Selenite.
Stronger.
Yeah. Say like you wore Piku and you absolutely filled Piku with your negative energy.
Yeah.
You can then put Piku near a piece of selenite or on top of a piece of selenite.
Yeah, I've got a bowl to put him in.
Yeah. Right. If you've got a selenite bowl, put him in the selenite bowl and it'll cleanse it.
Yes, that's what I buy it for. I just haven't heard of Moldavite before, but is it the same kind of thing then?
It's the same kind of thing, but stronger.
Right, okay.
Moldavite can take somebody that is in the Matrix and up like a rocket into the 5th dimension.
Oh, God. I'm going to get myself some of that.
It's expensive.
It is expensive, right?
Yeah, don't get the resin stuff.
But if you think about it, if you're going from the Matrix to the 5th dimension in like milliseconds or whatever, it is also tearing out trauma.
Yeah,
and that's where people can't cope.
True, yeah.
Because I've heard of people getting the Moldavite thinking, yeah, I'm going to, instead of doing all this affirmations and all these journals, I'll just get a piece of Moldavite and I'll go from ground zero to that in, seconds. But what they don't realize, to get from ground zero to there, you have to rip out a lot of emotions and trauma from the past. And if you're doing that in the milliseconds, you're going to have a whole mass, and it's a mess of emotions. You're going to have heartbreak, terror, anxiety, depression, all coming out at once.
Right.
And some people can't cope with it.
Gets worse before it gets better, they say.
Yeah, I'll definitely research that then.
That's why I'll say if you're going for if you've got a choice between Moldavite and selenite, rule of thumb is if you're already like me at 5th dimension, Moldavite would be fine for me.
I get you.
Because I've done a hell of a lot of shadow work in the 11 years to get to where I am. Right. So I've done all of the trauma, the horrors, the flashbacks, everything, and it's not nice. It really isn't. I wouldn't like to have thought way back then, if I'd bought a piece of Moldavite after I'd left all that crap behind, I probably would have torn myself to pieces, because I did all of that. I would have done all of that like in literally minutes rather than taking years.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that warning, and I hope Gemma looks into it a lot.
Basically, key of thumb, if you've not had any sort of DV or wartime or any post-traumatic stress disorders, any of that, then I would say Moldavite, go with it. But if you've had any types of trauma, whether it's even trauma like depression, some people have just got away from drugs, alcohol, all the rest of it, right? Again, Moldavite would bring all that up. But if you've not had any trauma and you've been one of these fortunate people that have sailed through life, and you're already kind of up here somewhere, but not quite 5th dimension, then definitely go for Moldavite. But if you've had any trauma, I would probably err more on the selenite or black obsidian. because black obsidian will help to release any negative energies. If that makes the choice a little bit more easier to understand. Like if I had just come out of DV, I would never in a million years get Moldavite. But 11 years out of that, I would definitely get Moldavite. Yep, black obsidian. Yep. If you've got black obsidian, Gemma, use the black obsidian.
Right, I'm going to go because I'm tired and I've got to be up early.
No problem. I will be sharing this anyway in the subscribers group anyway, Steph.
All right,
No,
thank
she's
you.
a
Thank you so much.
part-timer. I've got to do the notes now for the meeting. I've got to do the minutes. Just leaving me high and dry stuff. What you playing at?
I know. I'm sorry.
No, get a good night, sweetie pie.
I'll try. All right, I'll speak to you tomorrow.
I will do. Sleep well.
All right then. Yeah, thank you. See ya.
Bye.
But we
everyone
haven't got
else.
any lives tomorrow anyway, so we can do a mod catch up at some point.
Yeah, okay.
And by that
All right,
time, hopefully, Facebook has been able to download this into the subscriber group on Facebook.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
No
All right,
problem.
then. Have a good night.
We will do.
And I'll speak to you all tomorrow.
I will do. Well, we're halfway through anyway. We've got to journal 2, so we've only got 2 more journals to go.
Okay. All right. I don't know how to get out. Night, Gemma. Night, Nat. Bless her.
Good night.
I don't know how to get out.
Do you want me to shove you out of the box?
You kick me out, boot me out.
Let me out. Let me out.
Help me.
Good night, Steph. Oh, bless her. So we've done the gratitude.
Yeah.
And we've done the positive mindset.
Yeah.
The next step is your affirmations. So you would have an affirmation. What is an affirmation?
Mm-hmm.
Again, affirmation is very, very similar to step 1 and 2, but in a different way.
Right.
Affirmation is something that you would repeat throughout the day for self-love. And you can choose whatever affirmation that you want. So an affirmation would be something like, I am abundant. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am worthy. I am unique.
What they put on like a lot of TikTok jewelry.
Yeah.
That kind
we
of
have a star,
thing.
thank you.
Yeah, that kind of thing, like, you know, I am strong, or like let them, or yeah, that kind. Yeah, I understand that one.
Right. So you would every day you would choose between 1 to maybe 7, or some people put 10 affirmations. Right. So if you've had people saying, you know, or you're too fat or you're too thin or whatever, right? You turn it around, flip it, and you turn it into an affirmation. I love who I am. I love my size. I love exactly the shape and height that I am because the universe made me that way.
Yeah.
Right? Or if somebody is saying, you know, you're not, you know, you're worthless. Flip it. I am
Just
worthy.
put I am worthy. Just before you said that, I was writing I am worthy.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
right? Because I had just said, oh, you're worthless, and you've just told yourself without even
No,
realizing
before
it.
you
No.
even mentioned worthless, you should say I am, and I put worthy, and you went worthless, and then flip. That was a bit strange.
Yeah.
Can I ask you though? I know that you've said before, if you look in the mirror and you say these affirmations, if you don't believe them, then they're not going to count.
No, they won't. Yeah.
I look in the mirror and try say like I am strong, I am not a failure, I am beautiful and stuff, but I don't believe what I'm saying. Can you say them often enough till you believe them, or
Yes.
is it not gonna?
Well, yeah, you could, you know, it's a bit like, remember when you were at school, and if you were not, well, I don't know about whether you got them, but I'm going back in the day. When I was at school, if you did anything wrong, you either got a cane or a wooden duster chucked at you,
Yeah.
or your teacher would ask you to do 100 lines,
Yes.
right? So, for example, if you swore at the teacher, which I often did, I won't lie, but if you swore at the teacher would make you write 100 times, I must not swear at the teacher. Let me tell you, by the time you've wrote down, I must not swear at the teacher 100 times, it's in there.
Yeah. Like Gemma put, you're turning that negativity to a positivity.
Yeah. So the more you repeat something, the more it gets into the psyche, and the more it gets into the psyche, the more it stays there.
Right.
They say it's the same with routines. They say if you start a new routine and you do that routine consistently for 21 days, that routine's stuck
Yeah.
and can't be undone
Yeah.
because it's repetitive. But going back to the comment that you made there, Miss Sparkles, and I'm kind of glad you did that, because it's like, I can say these things in the mirror, but I don't believe it. What can I do to make myself believe it? Well, you can kind of say, do your affirmations in the mirror. I am strong. I am beautiful. I am worthy. I am blessed. I am loved. I love myself unconditionally. I love everything about me. Even my disability. I love my disability because it makes me who I am. It makes me strong. It makes me unique. I am blessed. You know, I am amazing. I am unique. I am positive. I am beautiful. I am stunning. I am abundant. I'm positive, etc., etc. And all the words that I tell myself are true. End it with all the words I have just spoken are true.
Right.
Because you're instilling that everything you're telling yourself isn't a lie, it's true. So you're reminding yourself, I've just done all of these affirmations and every word is true. Every single word is true. So I always, you know, when I come out of abuse, that's exactly what I ended mine with. Every word I have spoken is truth.
Yeah, that's a good one to put on
You
there.
can also add that little bit extra if you wanted. If your disbelief was so strong, add a little bit of extra to that. Every word that I have just spoken is true because I pride myself on truth, honesty, integrity, and self-love.
Yeah.
And when you're saying that on a repeated daily basis, your psyche will start believing it.
Yeah.
Another thing that I put into my affirmations was my disability will never stop me from achieving what I want to do.
Yeah.
I always put that one in because just like you go through the anger, you go through all of that. But because I put that bit in my affirmations, my disability will never stop me from achieving what I want to do. And you can add a bit to that if you wanted to, because where there's a will, there's a way. That's another affirmation in itself. Where there's a will, there is always a way.
Yeah, because my health will never stop me achieving what I want to do. I'll just have to find another way of doing it.
There you go. That's an affirmation in itself.
Yeah.
You've just gave yourself a positive affirmation right there. My health will never stop me from achieving what I want to do. I will just do it in a different way.
Yeah, I get that one.
So even the affirmations that you never see on a piece of jewellery, you can make up as you go along without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And a lot of affirmations come from your step 1 and 2.
Yes.
This is why it's so important when you're doing manifestation, step 1, 2, and 3, and do it in the order. If you don't do it in the order, you're failing right at the beginning. So it has to be step 1, step 2, step 3.
Yeah. Yeah, for definite, because it doesn't make sense otherwise.
Yeah. Because by the time you get to step 3 in your journals, remember laying out your journals in order 1, 2, 3, and 4. By the time you get to step 3, you've already got half your affirmations ready to put into your affirmation because you're working on gratitude, you're working on your positive mindset, and then you're going on to positive affirmations.
Yeah.
Which then takes you on to the manifestations. The universe is
step 4.
And that's step 4.
Right.
That's your final step, your manifestations. Now, your manifestations is taking everything that you've just done.
Mm-hmm.
Your affirmations have told you nothing's going to stop you from doing what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you want to do now is yours. Right? Because you've done all the steps.
Mm-hmm.
The universe says, all right, Sparkles has shown what gratitude she's got. She's so positive mindset. She's working at self-love because she's telling herself she is beautiful, she is strong, she is worthy, she is enough. She is powerful, she is strong. She is a survivor. She was born to thrive. Right? All of that, right? You've already done all those steps. Now you move on to the big bit. Now you move on to the manifestation.
Right.
So there are loads of ways to manifest stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give you some of the more powerful steps because we could go on and on and on about different ways of manifestation. But I'm going to give you the quick and easiest and most powerful ones for different situations.
Right.
Money.
Yeah.
So in your notes, write down manifesting money or abundance. You might want to call it abundance. Right? How to manifest money. The actual easiest way of manifesting money is if you've already put in your affirmation, I am abundant.
Yeah.
Money comes to me easily in your affirmations.
Yeah.
Right? Take your money or your abundance affirmation and pop it into your manifestation. For example, the easiest way to bring money into your life, extra money, is standing in the shower.
Yeah.
close your eyes and imagine, hold your hand out like this
Mhm.
in the shower so that all the shower, water from the shower drips onto the hand, right, and fills the hand with with water.
Yeah.
But as you are letting that money, that shower water drip down, imagine in your mind every drop is a pound note or a
Right.
pound coin, right? So you then turn that water into a waterfall of never-ending money. And as you see that money coming down, you tell yourself, money comes to me easily. Money flows to me easily. And you keep repeating it. Money flows to me easily.
I
Money
bought some incense and it said, money comes freely and easily to me. And
Yeah.
it said to say that every time you lit the incense stick.
It's the same manifestation you can do in the shower.
Yeah.
It's the same manifestation you can see. Another affirmation. Take care of the pennies and the pounds will take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say, well, I've just put a penny in that bank. That's not a lot. But keep filling that that bank with pennies. One penny then becomes a lot and turns into pounds. It's not looking at
My grandma used to say that.
Yeah, take care of the pennies and the pounds will take
care of themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people will say, oh, that's only 50 pence in my bank. And they don't think of the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Or add another 50 pence to that and you've got a pound.
Yeah.
Add 4 50 pences and you've got £2. But stop counting the pounds and just put the pennies in. Take care of the pennies and the pounds will take care of themselves.
Yeah.
And if you're saving, you've now got these little books that you can get, these little pocket books. I've actually got one. And it has little pockets from 1 to 100.
I've seen those on somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could do them daily or you could do them weekly.